At some point in your life, your phone has probably rung at the wrong time. Maybe it woke you up. Maybe it interrupted something important. Maybe you ignored it and later wondered who it was. But imagine this. Your phone rings. You look at the screen. The number is yours. Not similar, not almost the same, exactly yours. You answer, and on the other end of the line, you hear your own voice. Not a recording, not distorted, but speaking in real time. And what it says is something you were never supposed to hear. This is not a story about time travel. There is no proof of that. This is a story about a phone call that should not have existed. And yet, it did. In the early 2000s, before smartphones tracked every movement, before cloud backups and voice cloning tools, there was a man we'll call Daniel. Not because that was his real name, but because he never wanted his identity revealed. Daniel was ordinary, early 30s, office job, lived alone in a small apartment, routine life, predictable days. Nothing about him suggested he would ever be part of something strange, until one evening changed everything. It was a Tuesday, just after 9 p.m. Daniel had just returned home from work. He placed his keys on the table, set his phone down, and went to the kitchen. That's when the phone rang. The ringtone echoed through the apartment. Daniel walked back, glanced at the screen, and frowned. Incoming call. Daniel M. His own contact name, his own number. His first thought was simple. A glitch. Phones did strange things sometimes. Still, something felt wrong. The call didn't drop. It didn't correct itself. It kept ringing. Against his better judgment, Daniel answered. Hello? For half a second, nothing. Then a breath. Then a voice. A voice he recognized more intimately than any other. His own. Same tone, same pacing, same subtle hesitation before speaking. The voice said, "Listen carefully. You don't have much time." Daniel froze. He tried to speak. No sound came out. On the other end, the voice continued. "I know this sounds impossible. I wouldn't believe it either, but you have to trust me." Daniel finally whispered, "Who is this?" The response came instantly. "It's you, 3 days from now." His heart began to race. This wasn't a prank, not a friend, not a distorted recording. The voice reacted to his breathing, paused when he paused, interrupted him before he spoke. This was live. "Daniel," the voice said, "on Friday at exactly 6:40 p.m., you're going to take a different route home. You won't know why. You'll just do it." Daniel shook his head. "That's not funny," he said, but his voice trembled. "I know. That's why I'm calling." The voice lowered. "When you reach the intersection near the old warehouse, you'll see an accident. A red car. Someone will be trapped inside." Daniel felt cold. The voice continued. "You're going to stop. You're going to help. And that's when it happens." "What happens?" Daniel asked. There was silence. Then the voice said something that changed everything. "You don't survive it." Daniel dropped the phone. It hit the floor, the call still connected. He picked it up with shaking hands. "You're lying," he said. "You're trying to scare me." "I wish that were true," the voice replied. "I didn't survive. That's why I'm calling." Daniel screamed. "Then how are you calling me?" The voice answered quietly. "I don't know, but this call is the only thing that changed." The voice began listing details, things no one else could know. A scar on Daniel's left knee, a memory from childhood involving a broken watch, the exact words his mother used in her last voicemail. Daniel felt sick. "Please," he said, "what do I do?" The voice hesitated. "Don't stop," it said. "No matter what you see, keep driving." "But someone will be hurt." "Yes, and if I stop, you won't be here to regret it." The call began to distort. Static crept in. "I don't have much longer," the voice said. "This call shouldn't exist. It barely does." Daniel's voice cracked. "If you're really me, did this call help?" There was a long pause. Then, "I don't know yet." The line went dead. Daniel didn't sleep that night, or the next. He replayed the call over and over, except there was no recording. The call log showed nothing. No incoming call, no duration, no trace. On Friday, Daniel tried to change his routine. He left work early, then late, then tried not to leave at all. At 6:38 p.m., without realizing it, he grabbed his keys. At 6:40 p.m., he took the alternate route. His hands tightened on the steering wheel, and then he saw it. A red car crashed near the old warehouse. Smoke, someone inside, just like the voice said. Time slowed. Daniel remembered the warning. Don't stop. Cars began to pull over. People ran toward the wreck. Daniel slowed down. For a moment, he almost stopped. Then his phone vibrated. A notification. No message. Just a timestamp. 6:41 p.m. Daniel pressed the gas. He drove past the accident, past the screams, past the smoke. His chest burned with guilt. That night, the news reported that a bystander was killed when the car exploded. Daniel was never mentioned. He sat in his apartment, alive. The phone never rang again. Daniel never found an explanation. Phone companies found no anomaly, no spoofing, no call routing errors, no proof. Only his memory. And one question that never left him. If the call didn't save him, then who did? Some stories end with answers. This one ends with a signal that came from nowhere and a voice that sounded exactly like the truth.